I wonder, would you run that horse? The saddle thing?
I would not run the horse because a lot of the time my things that have power 2 or less don't always cost 3 or less. Like there's
Mm.
a lot of like
Mm-hmm.
I would love if I could go get, my oh gosh, what's the creature? Like I want to get my Torbran or my uh what's the card that returned a card from my graveyard to the battlefield?
Oh, the angel, the karmic guide, yeah.
Karmic Guide. I can't get Karmic Guide. I can't get, Solemn Simulacrum. I can't get, um, there's
Right.
a lot of
Okay,
stuff
fair
I
enough.
can get, but I feel like for 6, so instead of that, I have Sun Titan,
Mm-hmm.
which does something when it enters, and um, I anticipate getting my stuff shot a lot because people don't like taking 17 damage in a single turn. So
Weird.
Sun Titan is a nice top end to go, okay, boom, I can start getting my stuff back every turn. Pow, pow,
Right.
pow.
What's that angel? Sorry, the vampires that have like coven. Although I guess coven's harder for you to do actually.
Coven
Um,
I do not want because I will
right, because it's
have
actually
power
difficult to
1
do.
and 2
Yeah,
creatures.
yeah, that's actually difficult to do. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair. All
I
right,
don't
fair
think I
enough.
have. I think actually a new addition I just added was Glimpse the Impossible,
Ooh, very
which
nice.
I did not think of until now. Is like I exile top 3 cards, and worst case scenario, I have 3 extra mana and or
How you doing,
3
Pepto?
more Arabella damage.
Nice.
So,
That's super fair. That's super
boom.
fair. Um, Also, sometimes goes infinite with like 50 cards. Very true, chat. Very true. It just kind of
I
does.
don't have any infinite combos in here.
But sometimes they just do. But that's super fair. All right, all right. Yeah, we got to see what everyone's deck was doing, except for mine. Mine did not do the thing, but that's fine. Listen, I kept a poor hand that wasn't going anywhere. It had enough lands though, so that's why I kept it.
They
But
need to make a white card that has the lab mana text on it because my problem with playing Virtue of Courage is that Arabella does so much non-combat
uh
damage
huh.
that I will exile my entire deck and not be able to play any of it. So I'm actually
Mm-hmm.
considering taking it out because it's giving me too much value.
It's too strong. It's always hey, listen, that's a good limiter. But yeah, we will. Yeah, I think that's obviously going to be us for tonight. So thank you very much for the game. And I guess any last second thoughts on the bracket system? We'll go just like around just to hear what you have to say. Strixhaven thoughts and opinions.
Yeah, I'll just say that this is a beta. I think a lot of people are running around with their heads cut off. I think that it's the right direction, even though it's not the right thing completely right now. And I have a lot of hope and faith in like what Watsy's trying to do. So I'm just really glad that we're having this conversation in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that. I agree with that. All right, and then where can people find you on the internet, my friend?
You can find me at Strixhaven Dropout on Instagram, on TikTok, which is temporarily on hiatus because I accidentally deleted it and I can't re-download it.
Oh no.
Um, yeah, it's banned, low key, but not banned.
Hmm.
And then I'm also on YouTube. I'm also on Blue Sky, all under Strixhaven Dropout. Send me a message. I also write articles for cool stuff. You'll find me under Cass Hines.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
Sounds like
Mm-hmm.
some cool stuff.
Hell yeah. We love this. We
Mm-hmm.
love this. All right. And then over to Mega Marines. Mega
Hey,
Marines,
hey.
thoughts on the bracket system?
Just yes. So to echo Strix there, I feel very much the same way. I'm very curious to see what the updates for the game changers list will be. That name just kind of makes me laugh. I understand why, but I'm curious to see what they'll add in there. I know they said green ramp is more than likely never going in there, so we'll
Mm-hmm.
see how they play around with that. I'm wondering as time goes on because they said they're not going to use it as an excuse to print more powerful cards, but I wonder how that's going to shape, if at all, kind of the typical metagame, whether that's local, whether that's overall, whether we see that impacting tournaments of any kind or any events. I think the discussion it opens up is really good. I do think people should be open to the idea of like saying it's a 3.5, it could go back and forth. But I do like that it is opening up more discussion. That is probably my favorite thing because yeah, we all get kind of tired of saying oh, it's like a 7. Like,
Mhm.
pick.
Right.
Like, for example, I don't know if I would rate my deck as a 3. I have one tutor in there, but I don't think it plays like a 3, especially when it does well. But that's up to someone else's interpretation based upon their interpretation of my deck, how it plays, and that sort of thing.
Hmm.
Um, and then to send off, you can find me at Mega Marines on Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram. I am, like I mentioned before, just doing a lot of Warhammer content, sometimes posting Magic content. I am a cosplayer, so I'm working on stuff for that. Like my current project is Garrett Wild Speaker. Couple things like that. And if you want to message me, if you want to talk, you want to shoot the shit, you want to say you hate my deck, feel free to message me.
You said your deck was a 4. It's clearly a 7. It had 2 soul
I'm writing
rings
a
in
Google
it.
Doc right now.
Yeah, the Google Doc release.
Oh, no.
No. All right. Well, thank you very much, bud. Good to play with you, and hopefully, yeah, we'll talk some Warhammer sometime.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. All right, and then over to the one and only Splinter Twink.
Me?
Yeah,
Oh.
that's you.
I was looking around for another Splinter Twink. My bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm Willow. You can find me at Splinter Twink wherever you want. And if I'm not there, then I'm not on there. Bada bing, bada boom. My thoughts on the bracket system is I love a new thing to complain about. So I'm gonna I'm gonna be on
Mm-hmm.
Twitter farming some engagement for sure. Yeah. Non-Magic the Gathering things I'm doing is grinding, getting my money up, as the kids say. I'm
Did
gonna
you say that?
on occasion. Doing some cool projects, working on some screen printing stuff, working on some album cover stuff, and if you want my art on your whatever, let me know. You, viewer, I'm talking to you. Yeah, that's that.
All
Thanks,
righty.
girl.
Absolutely, bud. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. Really appreciate you. And that is true for all my guests. Thank each and every one of you for being awesome. And let's play some more Magic sometime.
Yeah, thanks for having us,
Absolutely.
Kuro.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Have
All
a
right.
Seriously, thank
good
you.
night.
Have a good night, everyone.
Meow.
Thank you so very much. I will see you in the future.
Yes. Good night.
Yeah. Good night.
Good night.
Alrighty, chat. So now it's just you and I. Sorry about I was playing with their sound and everything. But I wanted just to make sure that we had the personal talk time, which we do now. So yeah, the whole bracket system, the whole bracket system. I looked at my decks on Moxfield, and I see that most of my decks are labeled as 2 3s and 4s. Like my which I mean, it just goes to show, it's like, yeah, I mean, like when you're just looking at it on like the objective computer side, right? Like just numbers wise, yeah, like it's just a 2 because it doesn't have the things, right? But it's still up to me to tell everyone that none of my decks are 2s. None of my decks are 3s. None of them. Right? Like my just the way I build decks, the way I make sure that they have a purpose, the consistency within them, which is something that you can't put a number on, right? You can't really put a number on the consistency of your deck per se. You can put a number on the consistency of your wins, right? Like how often you just tend to just like get the hell there by turn 4. Okay, maybe you can kind of put, you can attempt to put a number to that. I don't think anyone should. I think that's also a recipe for disaster, but you can put that consistency, but can't say that I'm going to have a turn 3 on turn 3, a turn 4, a 4 drop on turn 4 guaranteed, therefore my deck is an XYZ. It's like, nah. Most can't be 2s and 3s and 4s. Most can't be Shut up, you. That's fair. That's actually very fair. I want to, like, I can't order it yet. Like, they just don't have the, I sort by commander bracket. I lied to you. Sort by commander bracket, ascending order. Yeah, it's broken. It's broken. Like on Moxfield, it's just straight up broken. It doesn't work right. I don't have a screen to show it to you, but you're just gonna have to trust me. It doesn't order them correctly, and if you filter by like brackets 1, 2, 3, and 4, it doesn't filter them correctly either. They're still working on it. It's obviously brand new. And because I have 52 commander decks, but most are 3s and 2s. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have four 4s, apparently. I have 4 4s. I have 4 4s. A lot of 2s. If you have a lot of tutoring decks in your a lot of tutoring effects in your deck may very well be, it may be very consistent. If you don't, it won't. I don't have tutoring effects in my decks. 4 4s, I know that's wild. I don't typically put tutoring effects in my decks just because I don't like tutors personally, because I like the variance-ness. I like the non-consistency of not having a tutor and just hoping I like draw into the thing I want, but I kind of make sure that I draw more cards than, just once a turn, ideally. It's just part of my deck construction. Most of yours are 1s now, Mishatim? Really? But you and the type of player you are, I don't think would portray your decks to other people as 1s. I don't think you would. You can say that the deck is a 1 on the scale, but like the way you play it, the mindset that you put on your deck, those are 3 at the very least. Your decks are built with more of a purpose in a precon, right? Your decks don't have wasted space per se. Most can't be 2s, 3s, and 4s. Shut up. I found you have to go to the settings for each deck and turn on the auto estimate to get an accurate rating based on the cards. Really? Go to each deck, go to settings, and where did I go? For each deck and turn on the auto estimate to get an accurate thingy thing. I don't know where that is. I don't see that option, that ability. I feel lied to and betrayed. Or is it the more? Oh, you're right. I see what you're saying. No, you have to go into the settings. You have to go into the more option and then settings from there. Oh, Jesus. Okay, well that's... Okay, so actually, you're right. I did it. I did the auto thing, and then it turned my deck from a 2, I think, into a 1, which is... Hey, but again, like, I know that this deck... Because I don't build 1s. I don't build 1s. I just don't. If you have lots of... just trust them. I agree. Why am I playing singleton format if I seek to reduce the effect of the singleton format? Right. Hey, that's my tank. Yeah, no, I can play them better than that, and you do play them better than that. My purpose is to do the thing and meme on people. They're usually 1s, right? You have to go to the deck list and then go to more. Yeah, it's a process. I don't build 1s. I don't build 1s. I don't build them. Yeah. No, it's not a 1. It's bigger than a 1. It's way bigger than a 1. It's super huge. My decks are 5, actually. You can actually tell it what to rate your deck. Brina's bracket 1, because I have no game changers, no mass land denial, because I'm not in red. I guess I could do Armageddon. No extra turn cards, and up to 3 tutors. Which, hey, sure, that's what bracket 1 means. I would never in a million years say that my deck is... present my decks as 1, right? Because I'm not going to do that. That's kind of fucked. You can also rate them yourself. I'm going to just play mine and see where they fall. Which is what you should have always been doing, right? Like, you as players of your own commander deck should have always been playing them and have a general idea of where they fall, or at least what type of decks they should be running against, right? Like, what type of decks... they can struggle against and have like a decent back and forth, and that's probably not going to be a precon if it's your 5-color Joda deck, right? Like, probably not. In fact, let me see what my 5-color Joda deck is. Because it says bracket 2, but then if I go to settings and then auto estimate, save settings, it goes down to bracket 1. That's crazy. But it's because the Joda deck, as it is, doesn't have the spells that matter, right? That like make it busted. But at the same time, the deck's busted. I mean, the deck is busted. You'll see IMO that there's vastly too much wiggle room in the initial beta. Obviously, they said, "Hey, it's a beta," but it hasn't been months since they announced that they were doing this new system. But the thing is, I mean, I don't really care how long. I don't care. The fact that it's taken them 6 months to make this system doesn't come into any bearing to me at all. That doesn't mean anything to me. I don't even remember how many months, right? I only, because other people have said 6. It's like, oh, it's been 6, cool. That doesn't mean anything to me, right? Because like it's a certain group of people trying to undertake an impossible task. Doesn't matter if it's 6 months. Doesn't matter if it was a year. It doesn't matter. It's not possible to have a system that works in everything, right? And it's already a tough ask to make it work in like most situations, and especially because we as Magic players and our propensity to complain, we would like to typically figure out where the holes in the system are versus like, oh no, I kind of get how that actually captures the widest net possible. Giving them more months is going to result in something significantly better. Giving them more months without more data, I don't think would have changed anything. I think they could have spent 2 more months on this, and they would have come to the same conclusion. It would have still been 5 brackets. It would have still had these things. The ban list would still be the same, and the game changers would still be the same. That I don't think that would have changed. I don't think 2 more months of analysis would have made Necropotence make them flip their ideas on Necropotence being on the game changers or not. I don't think that's true. Canadian Highlander just works and is better than this already, so I disagree. I'm sure it'll just remember when I won and it should rate it a 1, but they cast Black Lotus every. See, that's funny though. That's funny. But that's another thing where it's just like it's an impossible task. Canadian Highlander just works. Canadian Highlander is also a format that you can't open up a precon and just play. Not really. Or at least I haven't seen that shit happen, right? I have no reason to believe that Canadian Highlander would be a sort of format that a player who got a commander deck for Christmas is going to have like a good time figuring out, hey, like, what's my power system for this deck? I got what points do I have? Edgar Markov bracket 1, crazy. Real Zero combo is more dynamic and more successful at stopping pub stomp. Their refusal to work on the universal zero questions. So, cardboard combat. You lose me in the first half, but grab me in the second with that one. Their refusal to work on a universal rule 0 questions is annoying. That I can agree with. I think I can get behind that. I think them not trying to find or suggest ways to talk is a down, like a down note, just a thumbs down on that one. I agree with that part. The rule 0 conversation being more dynamic and is more successful at stopping pub stomp. I don't know if I have had enough experience in modern day Commander and card shops to truly give an opinion on that. I don't. I know I don't. I know that I don't. Not in modern day Magic. Not in modern day Commander. That's always going to be subjective. We always, yeah, I mean, it will, right? Every precon has soul ring, so you're already points for Highlander. Sure. Refusal is the correct word to use here. Yeah, it is a refusal because they don't think that it's like something that they can necessarily do or implement in some way. Which, I mean, I'd like to learn why they find it not possible to do, right? Just to understand where they're coming from. Like, okay, why do you feel it's impossible to come up with a set of questions? And I mean, hey, listen, maybe it's a marketing thing, right? I mean, on a certain level, they are a company, right? And I'm sure that they're trying to find a way that can answer as many questions as possible, but not necessarily force people, right, to play by certain rules, right? Someone on Blue Sky, in a response to my talking about this, said like, hey, you know, what if I'm a store and I wanted to host like a bracket level 2 tournament, it's going to lead a lot of people to, talking about how their deck is a 2 when it's really not, right? My first initial thing was just like, I would never in a million years ever suggest that someone runs a bracket 2 tournament. Like, step one, I don't think casual EDH tournaments work unless it's precons or CDH, right? Unless you force people to have all the same decks, or you say that the rules don't matter. I think that's the only way to run this, especially on like on a level where like money is worth it or something. It's like I would never suggest a bracket level 2 sorry, I would never suggest a bracket level 2 unless it's literally precons, because that's wacky. Of course, only precon CD. Yeah, I mean that's right. And I don't think that like this bracket system was trying to necessarily like answer that issue, right? Like the issue of, hey, as soon as we let the rules go, we either have to let people do whatever they want, which is CDH, or we keep them just playing precons, right? That's the only time we have control, either to completely let loose or hold on to it. That's the only times where you can like really say like these are the rules for something, and then the rest has to come down to subjectivity. It just has to. It has to come down to subjectivity. There's something to be said about that because like 2s and 3s, a 2 is a precon, and then the 3 is an upgraded precon. There are two parts of this bracket system is all based on where do precons fit against your deck, right? That's like the only metric that is like a solid ground for them to base opinions around, because as soon as you step out of that, it is just completely my Joda deck is a 1. It doesn't play like a 1. Subjective and like objectively really, but there's no way for them to have like made a system that really accounts for the fact that Joda decks are not 1s by default, right? Like just by default they're not. And unless you wanted a commander checklist that's just like super long and not really functioning to help anyone, you're just gonna have to be subjective about it. You're just gonna have to be like, I'm gonna be honest with you and say that Joda's a 4. So play me with the 4 and not your precon, because I'm gonna trounce it most likely. And if that's all you got and you just still want to play Magic, then like okay, then you just play Magic. Like then whatever, right? But yeah, be honest when you're going to a table for the first time and everyone's just legitimately looking for a good time and looking to play in the same pool. Yeah, well, try to play something that's in the same pool, no matter what the numbers say, no matter what the bracket system says. You can ignore the bracket system and still just be like, hey, yeah, oh, you have a precon. Oh, you have like ladies looking left. Oh, what's in it? Oh, like just 7-drop and higher creatures and like no spells. You just wanted just women looking left, and turns out they're all 6 mana and higher. Okay, well, Yeah, I mean, I guess that's a 1. Let me choose a different deck. Okay, let me try my guys. Look, guys sitting in chairs. I love guys sitting in chairs. Guys sitting in chairs, Allura typal. Let's go. And then you throw that down. And that's like, you can still have that conversation, and that didn't involve the bracket system, right? That didn't involve the bracket system at all. But the bracket system could have still come into play in that conversation if you wanted. They have to have ban lists and formats and rules and force people to play under certain rules if they really want it, right? Like, if they really, really want to, like, clamp down on things, yeah. Well, they say that the commander checklist with the game changers list with random commanders on it. Yeah, like the random commanders thing. Hold on, let me switch to a screen that has the ability to look at stuff on a deeper level. Here we go. Let's look at. Sorry, hold on. I actually thought I messed something up, but it looks like everything's okay. I'm gonna try to pull up the website really fast. Okay. My camera freaked out as usual. All right, let me introducing the commander thingamabob. There we go. All right, so let's look at this. Camera, stop being dumb, please. You're so stupid sometimes. All right, you have Turgrid, who's in the vastly irritating commander, who's a vastly irritating commander on the list, and you have Braids, who was banned. What, mono black Braids? Wait, no, there's no way it's mono black Braids that's on that list. No, there's no way. Only one of those cards is vastly more annoying. Then you have Augustin, same thing, vastly annoying, but not winning CDH tournaments. And you also have Kinnan, who does win CDH events as a chop suey of commanders. Makes no sense to me. Rock is unbelievably powerful and is on this somehow. Strictly speaking, commanders. Okay, hold on. So we have the core here. Sorry, I know I'm kind of in the way. By kind of, I mean a lot. All right. Where's the commander? So yeah. You said Braids is on here? Oh, you're saying Braids have Braids who is banned? Only one of those cards is vastly more annoying. Turgrid's more annoying. What are you talking about? 4-mana Braids is banned. Braids Cabal minion? Yeah, that's banned. That has nothing. Right. What are you saying? Yeah, that is banned. Yeah. And it's awful. Right? Like, we know that that's awful. We know that this Braids is awful, right? That's what I'm saying. Turgid is vastly more powerful and effective and annoying. Braids is not nearly as good and is banned. Okay, well, hold on. I mean, well, in fairness, Braids has been banned for like just a long time, right? Like Braids, I think Braids has a reason to be banned. I think Braids is a correct ban, personally, for the for people pushing the limits of Braids. I mean, that's just my personal take. And then in more recent times, they have made a new commander who is annoying and leads to like annoying play patterns. It's banned for annoying, not for power. Sure, yeah. And Turgid is also a card that leads you to building a deck around her that is annoying and very powerful. Although there are people who definitely like that. Turgid is both. So Turgid, I mean, just the differences in the card, right? I mean, this is a different cost, right? It requires other. It requires like an entire deck archetype around her. And she's been in the format long enough for people to say like, "Hey, I just don't want to play against a Turgid deck," right? They're like some of the cards that are on the ban list are just banned because they've been banned, right? It's not like they made Turgid and Braze at the same time and said, "Okay, we're gonna ban one and not the other." They were banned and they were created at different times and banned one of them rightfully on one time, and then it just still is. There might just be not a good enough reason to take it off the ban list, and that's been around since the old RC, and they still might unban it now, right? Like now they actually have more of a testing ground thing to unban her, try it out for a while, see if it's the worst thing ever, and maybe goes back in the hole or maybe leaves the hole, right? But I don't think it's necessarily fair to weigh on the scales of like justice the fact that one card is banned when the other isn't, when they're like 20 years apart. You know what I mean? As I said, it's the start of the commander checklist. Well, yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's the start, but like the ban list just stayed the same, right? Like the ban list just they weren't going to take something off the ban list anytime soon. For the beginning, absolutely not. That'd be wacky. Yeah, I don't think it's like a super fair comparison, is all I'm saying. But I certainly just asked not to play against Turgid decks, that's for sure. Kinnan does win decks and is a problem, whether it's the commander or in the 99. This is a card that just warps the game around itself randomly. Not even on purpose sometimes. Like I mean the card text that's on Kinnan is just unreasonable for one. Like it just is. It's unreasonable. The man doesn't even have to tap to activate that bottom ability. That's just unnecessary, right? Like that's just unnecessary. So Kinnan is I mean, this is a stupid card. Yuriko.
Incoming raid
I
from
personally
Cammy
always-
Cakes with 6 raiders.
Cammy Cakes, thank you very much for the raid, my friend. Cammy Cakes, thank you very much for the raid, my friend. I appreciate you. We're getting frosted. We're getting frosted with Cammy Cakes. Cammy Cakes, we're getting frosted, friend. I appreciate you. How you doing? Jam up in here. Only because Cammy Cakes showed up. Were you playing Fortnite? Were you winning? Did they add building back? Not that I want it back. I'm just wondering. Did they even? Artifact Mana Flare is weird in Simic. It's kind of fucking weird, bro. It's kind of a weird. It's a weird choice. Card for it's kind of a goofy. Double your mana, pay for when they. It's kind of it's a goofy. It's a goofy card, man. Pure blue seems right. Blue does double. Just don't make it exist. Or like white blue? White doesn't double mana like that. I mean, like in terms of but it's a non-land permanent, like a non-land permanent tapping for mana and then doubling that is like, yeah, that is. I don't even know what that is though. Like that's not even like a specific thing, right? Because like, okay, blue has high tide once. I don't think that's like indicative of blue doubling mana, and that's still just islands. And then green just doubles lands. White doesn't double mana ever. Black doubles swamps specifically, and red just produces mana. You play a spell, you get more mana back. That's what red does. I don't know what the fuck Kinnan does, bro. Like I don't understand. It doubles creature mana too, right? Like specifically, yeah. Like I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. Sure. Kinnan. I mean, I mean, Kinnan deserves to be here, personally. It's always been around, just play build mode, but most people don't like it. Hell yeah. That means I can play it. Or like my blue, yeah. Exactly, it's weird to be being green for edit it all for artifact mana, correct. Artifact or creatures, right? I didn't think about the creature exactly, right? Like honestly, I think that's where the green came from, which is like, oh, you can make your elves tap for more, haha, which is like, I mean, okay, like you're right. Couldn't you have just said creatures instead? You know what I mean? Like we should have just said creatures, but you just said all non-lands. Fuck, man. Okay, sure, whatever, whatever. I guess. Explain the Princess Wizard to me. Then you can have the one-off cards that do wacky stuff. And honestly, I'll explain the Princess Wizard. Also, Kami Cakes, thank you very much for the raid. Chat, the Magic the Gathering came out with a new bracket system for the Commander format, and it's been like all the hubbub, and that's what we're talking about today. But we did play Commander earlier. It was fun, and now we're talking about this. Love you. I can explain Apprentice Wizard. Oh, is this what we meant? When did this come from? The Dark? Holy shit. Okay, well, I'll explain it by this came from the Dark, by the way. So, like, step one. You know, what do you want from me? It came from the Dark. I mean, the wizard cracks his wand. You tap for a blue and make 3 to play an artifact. That's blue as hell. And this guy costs 3. Look, it's wow, that's fuck me for thinking I get what I wanted. Why are you weird? Why are you being weird about this? What's happening? What? Yeah, Land of Our Elves is just like, look at what they must do. Look at this mana value. Look at what they must do to mimic a fraction of our power. And they're right. Like, they're so right. They're so right. The Dark Kuro. Yeah. Blue adds mana, so Delphi Mechanist. Listen, I'm not saying that blue doesn't ever add mana, okay? But it's still just not like a strictly, like, it's Devi Admate sacrificing things for black mana. Like, I get it. But yeah, it's still just not like a very... It's a green thing, right? It really is. It's a green thing, so that'll be Simulacrum. That's cool. Anyway, Kinnan deserves to be here. That's what this whole conversation started with. Kinnan deserves to be here because his card's fucked. And I'm okay with that. Adrix and Niv, twin casters. What about them? That's pretty blue-green. That's pretty blue-green. Right? That's like pretty blue-green. Doubling stuff. That doesn't, I mean, they don't deserve to be in here. Grand Arbiter. I think Grand Arbiter is kind of an interesting... I feel like Grand Arbiter is such a casual... Maybe it's just because I'm blue-white, so I'm biased. Maybe I just shouldn't judge on Grand Arbiter, Augustine IV. I haven't been on the receiving end of a Grand Arbiter in literally years. Literally years. I've cast a bitch, though. I cast him. Not in every deck. I think literally just in Chun-Li. Right? Like, literally just Chun-Li. Because it really helps. It, like, really, really helps in Chun-Li. But, Grand Arbiter is high in the annoying scale, but is less terrible than those other cards. I mean, yeah. No, Winota... Man, this is what I just think CDH should be a different format. But it's not like these are banned also, right? Like, these are just game changers. They're just game changers. And I do kind of understand why some people would say, like, Winota in the 99 is not the same as Winota as the Commander. And I feel that. Like, when you're like Winota, I get that. When there's Kinnan, you know, I disagree, right? Like, Kinnan in the 99 or the Commander is still a bastard, right? Like, he will still ruin my games. Yuriko, kind of a command zone only thing. Like literally mainly just because of the commander ninjutsu. Winota, largely a commander only thing. Grand Arbiter, I mean, no one wants to see him at any point. But I guess consistently on turn 4 is the worst time to see him. But really, it's just no one wants to see him ever. shouldn't make the game dreadful, but they aren't the same as Kin and the Turgrin on either axis. I would agree, which is why I think, like, I would wager, Beardy, I would wager that they would eventually come off the list. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that Grand Arbiter can come off the list. I think that Grand Arbiter can come off. I don't want them to make a separate list for commanders themselves, right? Like, I don't. I don't want them to have to add more, right? I don't want them to move all of this over, right? And then add a commander list over here and say, hey, we looked at this more. Like, I don't want them to have to add over here to say, hey, we need to add commanders. You know, I don't want that. Just move everything over to the side a little bit, you know? I don't want that, right? Because then that's just adding more. Then, like, imagine this list getting longer. And not just longer because they added more red cards, right? They added more because they had to have a whole nother bracket over here just to list commanders that are a struggle when they're the commander and not when they're, like, anything, you know? Like, I don't think that's a good thing. I don't think that's, like, what we should necessarily be going for. Is Yorion banned as a commander? No. Is Lucci banned? No. Yorion banned. I don't want another list. Here's the new Game Changers list. No. But no, hold on. But Game Changers is not like a list of like things that are banned, right? He is? No. Is he? Yorion is? It's legal in command. Wait, no, what are you talking about? Oh my god. Wow, cringe. Cringe. I've been betrayed and lied to. I've been bamboozled. I can't believe you would make me do that. But like, I don't want this list to move over and add commanders to them, you know, and specifically say, hey, this is only a problematic thing when it's in the command zone, but not in the 99, or vice versa. I think it's okay to just say, like, hey, you know, Yuriko is at the very least a problem card that we look at. And I think, like, especially depending on how they want to do this, right? Like, how they want to explain certain things. If they want to explain certain things in a certain way, they can explain why Yuriko's here, right? Like, this list is small enough. The list is small enough for, if they want to, they can talk about every single card and go like, oh, why did we do this? If they want, they could do that. Maybe they probably shouldn't, because everyone will just go like, oh my god, you, in your explanation for why Jinkatax's Core Arger is a problem card, or not a problem, a game changer card, you didn't dot your I on paragraph 2, so I think you're stupid and bad and should insert every explicative here that they'll get sent. But like, they could explain this, like, yeah, Yuriko's on this for the commander part, and typically we want someone who is running Yuriko as their commander to probably be declared power level 3, probably, but like, it's okay if not, like, whatever. It's okay. You'll live, right? Like, it's not the biggest deal in the world. There's a specific rule against Yorion, only as companion only. Yeah. Back in my day, we had the Tuck rule and the ban was commander list, and it was better. That was back in my day as well. I started playing Magic in 2011, started playing Commander in RTR. So 2012. Like, it was back in my day as well. I kind of miss the Tuck rule, but I mean, I'm used to not having it at this point, so I don't really care. But and I didn't really particularly care for the banned as commander list. When they combined banned as commander and banned in general list, I was perfectly fine with it. I'm okay with that. I think that's fine. I honestly think that's fine. I honestly think it's fine. Oh, hey, look. Why is X hard? What do we got here? Extension of the mana denial restriction. Actually, that's pretty fair, right? I mean, this is like, yeah. It doesn't fully fit our description given and is a little nicer than other mass land denial cards, but we still wanted to keep this card clear from the lower brackets, and I think that's fair. Rafellos did nothing wrong. Sure, bud. Yeah, I think more like that's fair, right? Especially when the goal is to keep a card clear from the lower brackets, right? Then I think Vorinclex is perfectly fine on here. That's fine. Whatever. Gaia's Cradle is, I mean, the fact that Gaia's Cradle gets to be one of the lands that is, one of these older lands that is free from being banned, but like, Tolarian Academy is hyper banned, is, one of the great mysteries of Magic. But being able to actually acknowledge that it's kind of a little bit of an imbalance. So at the very least, Gaia's Cradle doesn't need to be in lower power pods. That's totally fine. When someone drops Vorinclex, everybody in my pod looks at each other desperately hoping someone has an answer. And one person, usually me, will go like, listen, I will be the hero that we need. And I will tap my 3 lands. And I will Hero's Downfall that damn card. And I'm going to lose 3 lands for, 2 turns. So all of you better remember this. All of you. Remember what I did for you. Okay? And then they remember. So it's a political tool. And it's great. But you're right. Everyone, like, they're, like, you can hear a pin drop. Everyone goes silent. And it's just like, you got an answer for that? No? You got an answer for that? Blue player? No? No, the one time you do. Okay, sure, hey, whatever. Alright. I'll do the thing. Hopefully you can tap, if you have the removal in your hand, you can tap the lands before and try to kill it, whatever. But, like, everyone still knows, Serra Sanctum is nowhere near as good as Cradle or Academy. It's basically Ancient Tomb. Right. Like, I mean, Serra Sanctum is definitely a card that belongs in, obviously, enchantment only, whereas creatures are universal. And you're not wrong about that, right? About Serra Sanctum. But at the same time, it's like, even if it's not as strong, if it's in a deck that wants it, it's like a lot of mana, right? Like, it is just kind of a lot of mana. It is a lot of mana. And at the very least, it doesn't need to be in low power pods. It's not going to be banned anytime soon. I don't think they're going to ban Serra Sanctum, bud. Right? Like, this isn't the ban list. This is the, hey, let's keep this out of low power list, Cabal Coffers is stronger than Serra Sanctum? Sure. Coffers is on the list, because that needs 2 things, right? It still requires a certain level of Magic understanding to probably make it work out. That's fine. I don't care about that. This isn't, like, to go, I mean, like, and this is one of the issues, right, Beardy? And I don't want to say it's like an issue with the Magic community, and it's an issue with any community, and we just happen to be talking about Magic, but just like, we're kind of like trying to find it is a hard line, right? It's a hard line. I want to go back to looking at this in a second. It's a hard line to walk of going like, hey, these cards deserve to be on here, but why not these? And then on the other side is just like, guys, we don't want to make an entire graphic just talking about white and all of the game changers in white for X, Y, and Z reason. Like, that's not going to lead to any positivity. That's not a positive thing, right? But at the very least, we can highlight Drannith Magistrate. Drannith Magistrate can be highlighted. I think that's fair, right? I don't think, I think Drannith Magistrate is a fair enough card to just be like, well, if Drannith Magistrate's on here, why isn't Nevermore? It's just like, no, I think we can agree that those are different cards. Right? I think we can do that. Also play in a lot of pods that just don't believe in interaction, which is, they'll grow. Eventually they'll grow up. Hopefully you will be the one that leads them to growing up powerless. Did you already talk about how they're defining and closing average current pre-constructed deck? No. No. What is... No, I did not, actually. I did not. Hold on, really fast. I just wanted to see what they said about... and Urza. That's right, Urza's on here. We wanted to be very careful with the legendary creatures we hit, as it essentially knocks them out of brackets 1 and 2. Sure. Additionally, your commander is the one thing you know before playing a game, so it gives you an easy way to say, hey, I don't want to play against this commander based. Yes. Yes, there's human thought that went into this, obviously. However, after a lot of discussion, we felt that these 6 were almost never used fairly when played as commanders. That's a fair feeling. I think that's a super fair feeling. That's a perfectly fair conclusion to come to, right? I've never seen the fun, enjoyable for everybody Grand Arbiter deck out there in the wild. Yeah. There might be one person out there who has it. And there is. There absolutely is, right? And to that person, feel free to try and convince the table, as mentioned earlier. Rule 0 still very much applies. But generally, these are commanders that have a certain pedigree of appearance and that most players don't want to play against at, say, bracket 2, precons, right? This does apply to the rest of your deck as well. While these cards can do a lot better in your 99, can do a lot better within your 99, we don't want an additional list distinguishing cards that are only game changers when used as commanders. But if you have any feedback on that, let us know. And I will let you know right now, do not make a commander game changer list. Keep it the same. Just keep it the same. Band as commander was what we did for a long while. I think that we've seen the benefits of just getting rid of band as commander and just having a straight band. I think we've seen the benefits of that. For bracket 2, because the Amanatu Veil Piercer precon shipped with two card infinite. That's right. It did do that. Where... experience. The easiest reference point is that of the average current pre-constructed deck at a core bracket 2 level. While bracket 2 decks may not have every perfect card, they have a potential for big splashy turns, strong engines, and are built in a way that works towards winning the game. While the game is unlikely to end out of nowhere and generally goes 9 or more turns, you can expect big swings. The deck usually has some cards in it that aren't perfect from a gameplay perspective, but are there for flavor reasons, or just because they bring a smile to your face. And that's true. I mean, that's absolutely true about precons, 100%. The Doctor Who decks, especially the Doctor one, right? Like, goddamn. You need a secret layer to finish that deck. Deck building. No cards from the game changers list. No intentional 2-card infinite combos or mass land denial. Extra turn cards should appear in low quantities and are not intended to be changed in succession or lose. Archangel Raul, thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate it. Welcome, bud. Let me read that again because of the sound. Deck building. No cards from the game changers list. No intentional 2-card infinite combos or mass land denial. Extra turn cards should only appear in low quantities and are not intended to be chained in succession or loops. Tutors should be sparse. Fair. Doctors, that's the other D in my Dragon deck. Pog. What? That's fair. Where did they talk more about Amanatu? Should I just look up Amanatu? No. They didn't actually talk about it? Oh. So I've been lied to. I've been betrayed. I've been bamboozled and deceived. It's more of a question Oh, I'm sorry. Did you already talk about how they're defining average for bracket 2? Because okay, sure. I'm sorry. God, these are not in order? Please. I'm begging you. Oh God. Right. Amanatu came out with what did they have? Velociraptor is a strong pecan in my opinion. Yes. Ondu Spirit Dancer. Oh yeah. Well, but okay. Wait. Well, hold on. That's not exactly. Mean the room that makes everything an enchantment, right? Right? Is that? Yeah, each non-land permanent you control is an enchantment in addition to its other types. So then, oh, what you play Ondu Spirit Dancer, and then it just kind of triggers from there. Okay, right, but does it end? Right, like does it end? Oh, you may create a token. Sorry, you may create a token that's a copy of it. I mean, that's a fair distinction because you can end it, so it doesn't actually just go on forever. Yes, but it's a 2-card infinite. So, where did they specifically kind of talk about what 2-card infinites are? Because there's I would posit, right, and you can argue with me here. You can make an argument, but you don't win on this. Right. So